Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Tanelia and this is Uyong Beauty. Today we're going to be testing out a new foundation formula from Colourpop. This is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Formula. They also have a Pretty Fresh Concealer and a Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, so this is kind of like the third product in that Pretty Fresh series. There's also a primer and a setting spray as well. There are 42 shades in this formula, which is a pretty decent shade range. They go from very, very fair to deep, dark, rich skin tones, which I appreciate. I'm going to do some quick shade comparisons between the Pretty Fresh formula and the No Filter formula. I absolutely love the No Filter formula. I have the foundation, the concealer, and the setting powder. I love all three. The No Filter foundation, which is this one is more of a matte formula, whereas this one is a more hydrating formula. So I'm guessing this one may be a little bit more sheer, a little more luminescent, but I'm interested in seeing what the shade range looks like. In the Pretty Fresh formula, I am medium dark, which is 120 warm. And the No Filter, I'm also medium dark, but this is number 115 warm. So I'm curious to see if these shades look the same. In the bottles, you can see they look a little bit different. This one looks, I don't know, more caramel. This one looks more golden, but let's see. This one is the No Filter and this one is the Pretty Fresh. They're actually very, very similar. So I'm guessing that whatever shade you are, if you currently use a No Filter formula, you'll probably be the same shade in the hyaluronic acid formula. I'm also going to do some quick swatches and shade comparisons of the concealer formulas. This one is a No Filter and this one is the Pretty Fresh. The Pretty Fresh concealer isn't new. This one came out last year, I think. But I have this one in medium. This is number 90. And I have this one also, the No Filter, in medium. I'm not sure. I think it's 111. This one is like very, very light and it's very difficult to see, and I'm not as young as I used to be, but let's go ahead and do those comparisons. This one is a No Filter. This one is the Pretty Fresh. They're both medium. This one looks a little more warm. That's the Hyaluronic Pretty Fresh formula. This one looks like it has maybe a little bit more orange to it, but this shade looks really, really nice to me, so I'm sure this one is going to work just fine. I'm also going to be testing out a couple of these stick formulas from Colourpop. This one is the Light Stix, and this is a highlighter, and this one is the Blush Stix. It's a blush formula. I've never used the Stix before, but I've been wanting to get more into like cream-based products. You guys know I love a nice matte blush formula, but like I said, I'm wanting to try out some more cream, so I'm very excited about trying these out. We're going to be doing something a little bit different in this video. This video is going to be focused on just the face product. So concealer, foundation, primer, powder, blush, highlight. I might do a lip color, I might not. The eye look I'm saving for another video that I'm filming after here because it's a new eyeshadow palette that's not Colourpop, something completely different, so I'm excited about that. So we'll be focusing on just the face in this video, and then we'll do the eye in the video that's coming up after this one. If you notice, my brows are already done. I went ahead and did that before I started filming. Usually I do that after I finish my face, but I thought I'd go ahead and do it first today. I don't have a Colourpop primer, so today I use my Believe Beauty primer. This is the Pretty and Primed Stay Put Makeup Primer. This is $5. It's a Dollar General exclusive. You can only get it inside the store, but this is a wonderful primer. It leaves a nice soft kind of a satin matte finish to the skin. It sets down really nice. If your skin is more on the dry side, this formula should work really well for you as well. So I pumped out a little bit of the foundation on my hand. I'm going to take my little sponge and dip it in and then go ahead and start laying it all over my face. I'm interested in seeing what this formula feels like in comparison to the No Filter. The No Filter I absolutely love. It gives me amazing coverage. Doesn't take much product at all. It blends in so nice and looks so natural on my skin. And the finish lasts for hours. Right, so far I am liking this finish. It's giving me good coverage. It does not look heavy or cakey on my skin. I did a second pump. I just needed just a little bit more. The coverage is really nice. I may have already said that, but the coverage is nice. The shade match is really good too. It's definitely pretty much the same shade that I wear in the No Filter formula, so that's good. Finish the foundation. I have to say it feels pretty nice on the skin. It has not set down or anything. This one might not, seeing how it's a hyaluronic acid hydrating formula and not a matte. But I have to say, just by the way it feels on my skin, and yes, I've washed my hands just in case, just know where my hands are clean. It kind of feels similar to the No Filter. Like I don't really feel a whole lot of a difference, but it looks really, really nice. So let's move on to the concealer. If there's one thing, guys, that I do not need is more concealer. I have so much concealer, but I've been wanting to give this Pretty Fresh formula a try, so I thought, what the heck, I'll go ahead and order it and use it with the foundation. I like this doe foot. You see how it's kind of bending? It's very, very nice. I do like that. Normally, I use my Becca under eye corrector first before I put on a concealer, but whenever I'm trying something new that I've never used before, I like to try it on its own so I can see what the coverage and everything looks like without the under eye corrector. I like the shade. It looks really nice. You know, I like a little more brightening underneath my eyes. Very seldom do I wear a concealer that's exactly my shade match. This has a lot of coverage to it. I like that. It's very, very brightening. The real test will be if I get any kind of creasing or anything throughout the day. I always get a little bit of creasing. If the formula is really good, then that creasing is very, very minimal. One thing I'm noticing right off the bat is that even though this is a more hydrating formula, the Pretty Fresh one versus the no filter, I feel like I'm getting a little more coverage in here than I do with the no filter. Very, very nice. I'm going to set my face with the no filter setting powder. This is in Banana, and then we'll come back and we'll do the blush and highlighting stick. I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera real quick just to save some time. Let's go ahead and move on to the blush and the highlight sticks. What I've seen people do in other videos with these sticks is rather than take it and going directly to their face, they'll take a sponge and just kind of lightly dust that or brush that over the top, and then they'll use that to press the blush onto their cheeks. So I'm going to give that a try, but I am going to do a couple swatches real quick just so you can see what they look like. So this is the light sticks. This is called Acting Up, and this is the blush sticks, and this is called Under Pressure. I love them both. This is a really, really pretty coral shade. You guys know how much I love a coral, and that is a very, very nice champagne-y type gold. I am very excited about slapping these on my cheeks. So I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to just kind of go over the top of this blush stick, and then I'm going to lightly pat that on my cheek and see how that works. That's how I've seen most people put it on. Okay, so you can see the color there. I'm just going to lightly pat it onto the cheek. Okay, I don't feel like, I'm getting a little bit of coverage or a little bit of color. Now, I set my face first with powder, so having powder over my face, over my foundation, might make a little bit more of a difference. Like the finish may be different if I just put it over my foundation versus over powder. So let's see. After just putting it directly to my face, okay, I like that. A little bit more pigment there. This is a very pretty blush. It's very light, it's sheer. I just have a very nice natural wash of color. I do like that. I'm going to put just a little bit more and see if we can build this up just a little bit. It's going over the foundation really well. It's not picking it up or anything. That's something to also look at, because sometimes if you put a cream formula over a foundation, it can lift the foundation underneath, but it is not doing that. It's going over the foundation and the powder very, very nicely. I think these sticks were like $8. I'll have to double check. I'll put the prices down in the description box in case you guys are interested. I got these off of Ulta, but of course you can get them off the Colourpop website as well. Now I'm going to take the light stick and I'm going to go over that on the other side of the sponge and try the sponge again. I might end up putting it directly on my face again, but we'll just have to see. All right, applying the light stick with the sponge. That works really well. That is really pretty. You see that? It's just a very nice, healthy glow. Ooh. You're blending the highlighter stick with the sponge. Definitely works really well for that. Kind of helps blend everything like into the blush. So that way you don't end up, because I'm imagining if you take the stick and put it directly to your cheeks, you might end up with like a long streak as opposed to a nice blended highlighter, but that is a very pretty formula. I like that. I'm going to take just a tiny bit on my finger and blend it right there in my Cupid's bow. I'm going to take my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and we're going to go ahead and set everything down real quick. I need to get me one of those little fans. I've seen several of the channels that I follow, this little hand fan that they use to like dry down their setting sprays. I need to get me one of those. This is a really, really good setting spray. This is, like I said, the Urban Decay All Nighter. If you need something that's going to lock your foundation in and make it, help it to last a little bit longer, some of you are asking me about that. this is a really, really good setting spray to use. So even if you get sweaty, you know, throughout the day, your foundation and everything underneath will still stay put. I really do like both the Pretty Fresh foundation and the Pretty Fresh concealer. I enjoyed using both of those. I will say that right off the bat, just in the way this one applied and the way that it initially feels on the skin, I'm not feeling much of a difference between the Pretty Fresh formula and the No Filter formula. I really do like the formula, you know, with this being a first impressions and my first time using it. But like I said, I didn't really feel that much of a difference between this one and the No Filter. Now with the concealer formulas, I definitely felt and saw a difference. The No Filter one feels really nice underneath the eyes, you know, it conceals okay. But the Hyaluronic Pretty Fresh one, I definitely felt like it's more hydrating, and I definitely felt a little bit more coverage in this area here. I love both of them, but just from first impressions, I do like the Pretty Fresh formula a little bit more. And that was my first impressions of some new and some old goodies from Colourpop. Like I said, I'll be doing the eye look in the next video, so be looking out for that. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you get subscribed and join a little family. And if you want to be notified of any future videos, just make sure to tap the notification bell down below and you will get a notification every single time that I post a new video. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.